It's been said that better questions lead us naturally to better answers, and that it's in not knowing that we open the doorway to knowing. I'm Scott Lennox, and you're listening to The Beautiful Question, a consideration of things that truly matter in a complex world. Flying can be a beautiful and wonder-filled experience, but we can't fly by staying bound to where we are, or by continually telling ourselves that we can't fly. This week, we'll take to the sky and soar into the pure exhilaration of our own freedom. Stay with me. To begin this week's consideration, I'll start with a one-line poem I wrote about something spellbinding that happened as I stood beside one of my favorite Texas rivers, the Brazos. The experience led me to a new and lasting awareness about the nature of freedom and about our true place in the world. I've entitled the poem Hawk Flight. At the river's edge, the hawk let go of the branch, took the wind into its reaching wings, and rising, danced weightless with the sky. Though I'm not a member of the Audubon Society and I don't fill notebooks with records of the birds I observe, I spend no small amount of time watching them, and occasionally feel inspired to write poems about them. A few years ago, while standing at the verge of the Brazos River, about an hour south of where I live, I had just such an experience. Looking across the river, I was just in time to see a large hawk lean forward on one of the high branches of a leafless tree, let it go, and spread its wings and take to the air. A few moments later, from high overhead, the sound of the hawk's voice piercing the silence gave me chills and made me think of flight and of freedom. I can't say how long I watched it circling above the trees that lined the far bank before it finally flew out of sight, but I was in no hurry to see it go. What struck me the most, and has stayed with me since that beautiful day, is that flight is only possible when we release whatever we're holding that keeps us anchored and stuck to where we are. Ask yourself, is it finally time to let go of the imagined safety of the branches I've been clutching so that I can take life's winds into my strong and capable wings and soar into my own fullness? Is it finally time for me to let go of everything that I'm clinging to that holds me back or holds me down, starting with my self-limiting thoughts and belief? In fact, is it time for me to completely let go into myself? You already know that we weren't born to accept every thought that passes through our awareness as though it's absolutely true. And yet, when we tune into our own negative and self-restrictive thinking, we place ourselves more and more at the center of what Einstein called a prison of our own ideas. We weren't born to cling to every cleverly crafted excuse that we come up with. Yet, until we choose to let them go, we keep gripping those excuses tightly as we watch our lives slowly wither, and as we feel our connection to our true nature seem to be fading away. We weren't born to live under the spell of the world's drama and noise and lies. And yet, as we keep listening intently to the gossip or opinions of others, or the highly commercialized so-called news, we lose not only our sense of perspective, but our sense of wonder and freedom and happiness. We weren't born to live under the restrictions of socially or self-imposed artificial limits. We weren't born to live in denial or in some form of stultifying trance. We weren't born to hold ourselves back or to be anything less than the luminous being we were born to be. We weren't born to live with constant regret and shame. We weren't born to spend our lives holding on to the pain of our past as we replay our regrets over and over and over. We weren't born to watch others succeed while we keep telling ourselves, if only, or not me. We weren't born to spend the span of our existence completely wrapped up in ourselves, compressing more and more, and serving others less and less. We were born to fly. So in the light of that truth, what must we do to fully accept who and what we are? How do we go about letting go of the all too familiar branches that we've been clutching and clinging to? And what must we do to take to the air and experience the limitlessness and the freedom of our birthright as human beings? One of our necessary first steps is to create an intentional shift and stop looking to external people and ideas to define us or tell us who we are. If we're to live in the fullness of our own being, we have to stop and look more deeply into ourselves. It's right there, in inner stillness, that we find the clarity that will tell us the truth and guide our steps. To experience what that kind of freedom is like, here's a meditation you can sit with right now and throughout the coming week. Breathe out slowly and deeply as you allow your vivid imagination to open as widely and expansively as you wish. In that limitless state, see or feel or know yourself as a great, fearless bird, safely and joyfully rising on invisible currents of air as you soar far and wide without having to do so much as flap a wing. You are clear-eyed. You are unafraid. You are fully who and what you were born to be. You are completely alive, and you are truly flying. As you stay with that, here are this week's beautiful questions. What do you notice about yourself from this expansive and altogether liberated perspective? What is it like to have nothing holding you down or restricting you or artificially defining you? How much more can you see? How much more can you hear? How much more can you feel? How much more do you feel yourself to be in true resonance with what you are as an irreplaceable human being? And held aloft by your own wings, where do you want to go now? As you live with this meditation through the coming week, write and tell me what happens. Look for me in the air. I'm that hawk soaring beside you. As I say each week, my light with your light. Thank you once again for listening. I'm always inspired by our collaboration as we work and play and fly together, building better lives and better possibilities for ourselves, for one another, for the world, and for our beautiful planet home. I look forward to your comments and your feedback. You can also be inspired by visiting my good friends at Cosmos Journal. That's KOSMOS Journal. Their mission is to inform, inspire, and engage global transformation in harmony with all life. You can easily find them online at cosmosjournal.org. And as always, you can find my free podcasts and guided relaxation audios by searching for The Beautiful Question in Apple Podcasts or SoundCloud or CastBox, or by visiting the podcast page of my website at scottlennox.com. If you find them useful or encouraging, don't hesitate to share them. I'm Scott Lennox, and this has been The Beautiful Question. The Beautiful Question is a One Light production, written, recorded, produced, and funded by Scott Lennox at Heart Rock Studios in Fort Worth, Texas, as a way of paying forward to life, being fully present, becoming better engaged with things that truly matter in a complex world, and committing to a healthier future for all of us.